On this episode, here's how you win in a multiple offer situation, and I got company. All right, episode 5 of, and I still don't know what I'm going to call it, either the Real Estate Realist or the Ask Jason Show, which was actually your advice before I started this page. Okay, so before we answer any questions, very special, first time ever, handsome English guest star with a silky voice. I'm about to lose all of my clients to him, Mr. Martin Byrne. Martin, tell us about you.
Started in the business in 2009. Actually came to the country in 2009.
2009 got awesome for Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Previous to that, I had 12 years in the Royal Air Force. I was in Goose Bay from 2000 to 2002. I'm not sure if you knew that, Jason.
I did not know you were in
Yeah.
Goose Bay.
Met the missus. She moved over to the UK for 6 years. Got 12 years into the Air Force. Decided to move over here and start a new life. Got into real estate and went door knocking. That's the only way.
Door knocking.
Door knocking. Door
I guess you didn't know anybody. That's
No,
old.
I had no. My wife's from the Bay. Right, so
I love it.
yeah, came here, didn't know anyone, went door knocking, got my first listing 2 weeks of being in the country and in the business, sold that house within 48 hours in a competing offer situation, and I've never been without a listing since. That's my sales pitch. That's what I do when I'm drunk. That's what I tell people. Yeah,
That's
and
what you
then,
do.
yeah. It's,
So like right now.
yeah.
No.
I never been without a listing since, and absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Excellent, man. That's great. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to stick to one question today that was sent to me. The timing on it and kind of the reason Martin is here is because we found ourselves in this exact same real life situation. You're going to answer it. I'm going to throw it to you first. But it's my show, and if I disagree, I'm going to tell you that Martin is wrong, and I reserve right after you've spoken. Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right,
Yeah.
so here we go. Mr. Martin Byrne, how do you win in a multiple offer situation?
You got to be a good realtor. Number one, you got to do your research on the property.
And that's why Martin's here.
Yeah. If you're going into a multiple bidding situation as the purchasing agent, you need to do your research and make sure that you're comfortable with the price that your client you're going to recommend the client go in with.
Now, how do you come to that price though? Like in a multiple offer situation, are you just saying, I want you to get a good deal, here's your price? Are you saying this is what the house is worth? That's like, where's your head at with that? How do you get a price in multiple offers?
I'd say go to the house what the house is worth. Make an educated offer is what
Yeah.
I tell every single one of my clients. You don't want to be going in with a ridiculously high offer, because then, Jason, you've lost your client forever, because you just sold them a house which they've got zero equity in. And the bank's probably going to turn down the deal anyway when it comes to it.
Yeah, it doesn't meet appraised value. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but if you've done your homework and you write an educated offer, it should be a solid deal. And especially if you're letting the listing agent know why you come in with that number, and you're letting the client know why you come in with that number as well. I've seen numerous times where people have wrote $10, $20, even $30,000 over list price and have still got a good buy. I've seen times in a competing offer situation, as we've done recently, when it actually goes under list price and you still get the property.
Yeah, and I won under list 3 offers. Just saying.
Yeah.
My show, I can brag. It's okay.
Communication as well with the agent is pretty key, which is we insulted each other a few times during our deal, which was pretty good.
I'm just going to take a second in the middle to interrupt you to say that, like, this is, you've seen, I drink from this constantly, and Martin did not give me this, even though I tried to lead up that that's what happened.
And Jason may need to put subtitles on this show maybe this time. It's not an episode of Coronation Street.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
I should go back to the beginning and say, on this episode, a guest star from Coronation Street.
Maybe.
No, it'll be an outtake in black and white at the end.
There we go.
Get ready, it's going to happen.
All right.
On this episode, how to win in a multiple offer situation, and I get a guest star from CBC's Coronation Street. Can you believe it?
Communication's key with me and you.
Yeah.
For example, on the listing that you just wrote an accepted offer on, which home inspection's done, finance is done, sold signs on. There was 3 agents. Number 1 agent called and had nothing but problems from the very start. Number 2 agent, despite me calling them, only text.
Yeah, see, like, really, and I don't mean to drop. Well, I do, but
Yeah.
to me, it makes a big difference because if every time you contact me, you text, then that leads me to believe that you want me to text you.
Yeah.
But if every time you contact me, it's a phone call, then I feel like Martin would prefer a phone call. So that's just basic communication, right? Like no one had to talk to different people.
I say it to clients all the time. If you want to text, you're right. If you want to Facebook message, you're right. If you want to call, you're right. If you want to meet, you're right. We've got to learn as agents to adapt to that. But at some stage, we need to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
The internet is not replacing us. Because at the end of the day, with this property, for instance, the vendors sit there and say, can you tell us a little bit about these buyers? There was a different circumstance for your client, and I knew plan A and plan B in terms of finance.
Yep.
So when I put that forward to my clients up on the offers, they were like, oh, you sound like you've done some homework here.
Right?
I was like, I've asked all the agents the same.
Yeah.
All the agents were asked the same.
And see, that's the value of communication because, like, there's been, like, okay, so just to give some context to what I'm about to say, Martin and I do not work together. We do not work in the same office. We've never worked in the same office. I did not know him when he was in the Air Force. If anything, truthfully speaking, we are one another's competition.
Yeah.
Right? As realtors, right?
Yeah.
So we would fight out for business, and you'll probably win because you have the accent. And mine's from the Bay. But, so, for me, so...
I'm from Monday Palm Bay. I faked this accent, right?
So I still see honesty and truthfulness and doing your best to get what's in your client's best interest. If that involves disclosing how far they are through the financing process, like if I know that information and it's going to make it easier for you to get your client to do my deal, then I'm not betraying my client by saying she has this much money or doesn't have this much money. Like, if my client wants the house, my job is to get her the house. That's just the...
Yes,
right?
Everybody wants to know. I can kind of roll my eyes with the financing part. I don't know if it's got it on camera there.
Oh, I'm going to zoom in.
But I mean, when you can go to someone and say, this client is solid, or this client, it might take a little bit of wiggle room, and you explain that to the vendor up front, because it's not about just the agents.
Yes.
But you explain that to the vendor up front, at least they know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Once that communication's there, it's fine.
So, to win a multiple offer situation as a buyer, have the right realtor.
Number one. Yeah.
And your realtor needs to...
Be open and honest with the finance, I think, is the key. Explain the circumstance into every one of them. And also ask what conditions do those guys need, the vendors.
Yeah.
If we've got a house already bought on a certain date and need that move. I've seen it numerous times when people have just come in with a completely, I call it stupid offer. The money might be good, but I'm kind of like, that we're moving the 15th of July. And now you're bringing a deal into close in December?
Yeah, and what's more of the only thing... There's two things... One thing, more valuable than money, and that's time.
Yeah.
And time and convenience are sort of the same thing. So you would pay more money for the same thing to get it at a time that's convenient for you.
Definitely.
Right? And that's the same in a multiple offer situation. Vendors are thinking the same way. Closing date.
Closing date.
It's huge.
Is key.
When do they want it to be done? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What else did you say?
Well, I'll tell you.
I got hypnotized by the voice.
Yeah. Some really cool stuff.
I think we did a really good job.
I think so. Right.
And I think we did a really good job.
Oh, one other thing.
Yes.
One other thing.
Because
I'm taking over your show now. Right, so if you do have finances all approved and stuff like that, and you must have seen this, it's not pulling faces, right? So if you got finance all approved and you bring a pre-approval letter from a very good banker along with the offer, you can save literally thousands of dollars at times.
See? Martin Byrne, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, thanks for coming. Anything else you need to add, or we done? Can I get... Yeah. We're good? All right, now get out of my way. Right. Okay, thank you for watching. More questions. I'm going to put a link either in the post itself or in the comments to Martin Byrne's professional Facebook page. And if you like him more than you like me, then I guess you get the deal. Till next time.